morning, boys and girls. It's your favourite grumpy granny from Grogy's Patch, here once again to continue my little research series. And just have a look at the setup. Grumpy Granny is moving with the times, and I've created myself a little bit of a studio to help me get more content out to you, my darling boys and girls. So I've got my little headphones on, I've got my rollers in, I've got my nice background. Do you like my quilt? I actually made that. And I've even got my super duper new microphone, so I hope you can all hear me properly. Today we're going to have a look at Terapeak. I'm sorry this video is a little bit late. I should have had it out on the weekend, but you know, Grumpy Granny gets a little bit busy at times with her social life, but I'm here now and I'm going to introduce you to Terapeak. What is Terapeak, you might ask? Well, Terapeak is one of the tools that eBay gives us as sellers to help us research how things are selling on eBay, what are the trending things that are selling on eBay, and what some of the categories are that eBay thinks would be good for us to sell in. So, let's get onto the computer and let's get into it. You can find Terapeak from your seller hub. You'll find it somewhere. Mine might be in a slightly different place because I have reorganised this page. You can actually personalise it and swap where things go, and that's what I've done. So just keep scrolling down until you find this bit where it says research. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on this bit here where it says optimise your listings with Terapeak Insights. And we're going to go into this. And this is just a search screen, this first one, where you can actually type in an item and see how many things have sold in certain periods in the last amount of time. So I'm just going to type in here just for fun. We'll just type in Levi and we'll bring up this where it says jeans and we'll just go into there. And you'll see I've got this set on the last 90 days and you can change that to say, look at what's sold in the last 7 days, the last 30 days, 6 months, 2 years, or custom. You can change it too. And then you go down a little bit and you'll see here, this is the category I've selected, which is women's jeans in this case. And then you can narrow it down even further by things like the condition. So here you can see, you can look up new with tags, new without tags, new with defects, or pre-owned. So because I primarily do pre-owned, just for this example, that's the one I'm going to do. So I'm going to click apply. And then you can also go to the format. So if you only want to know the items that sell via auction or best offer accepted or fixed price, you can narrow it down further with that. And you can also narrow it down by price range if you want to. And you can just have top rated or include top rated or only show top rated listings. But we're just going to have a look at them all. And if you actually have a look, the next bit down here will tell you that in the last 90 days, there's been nearly $60,000 worth of Levi women's jeans sold on eBay. And the average price has been $27.59. And the price range starts at 98 cents right up to $134. So we'd guess the 98 cents is going to have been an auction. And if you go further down, then you start getting actual individual things that have sold. And you can sort by different things. You can sort by the price. So you just click on here and that will tell you what the dearest, from the dearest down to the lowest, which one sold for that $134, which was a new with tags, so it'll be new old stock because they're vintage. 507 Levi jeans sold for $134 with free postage. And it'll just keep going on down the list. You can sort by postage, you can sort by how many sold, total sales, or you can just click on this one which will give you sort by date. So we'll just go from the closest date down to the last date, so you can see the most recent ones have sold and what they actually sold for. And the prices in here will be like best offer prices. So if someone's, you'll see sometimes when you're looking on eBay that they've had a line put through it if it's a sold, And that's because they accepted a best offer. So it didn't actually sell, say, for $30. It sold for, say, $26.94 or whatever the offer was. So, you can find out all those sorts of things there, and then you can click on this and actually go and have a look at the listing if you want to. So that's just the main how to do a little search in there. But what we are going to do is do something different. We're going to go in here and have a look at Terapeak Sourcing Insights. So we'll click on there and wait for it to load. And then we get this screen here. And there are a couple of ways you can view it. You can have a card view or a table view. I'm just going to have the table view for now. You can actually do a search and browse or look at the top categories, which is pretty much what we want to do, because this list here is by name. So you can see it's in alphabetical order. But we're going to go in here and have a look. What are the actual top categories that have sold? Now, all the data in here, you'll see over here, it says all data from the last 30 days. This is going to tell us what are the top categories of items that are actually selling on eBay at the moment. Now, you'll see here, action figures are selling well, and it says there's a good opportunity there. Athletic shoes are another one which they suggest, which if you hover over where it says good opportunity, it'll tell you that this category performs slightly better in search to listing ratio and sell-through rates than normal men's shoes. If you keep going down, we've got books, cases, covers and skins for phones, obviously. We've got collectible cards, we've got coats, jackets and vests, which now if you have a look, it says great opportunity. So if you are doing women's clothing, right now, coats, jackets and vests are selling much better than some of the other clothing categories. So this is how you find out what is actually trending. And that would make sense because in Australia here, it is winter. So this is telling us that this category is doing extremely well right now. And we can keep going down. We've got dolls and play sets are another one that's got a good opportunity. And not surprisingly, if we go down further, jumpers and cardigans are trending at the moment. And again, it says a great opportunity. So this is just a simple way of finding out the categories that are selling well and the categories that are trending. And we'll keep going. Mobile phones, of course, are again another one that's doing well. And again, women's tops are doing quite well, but not as well as the jumpers and cardigans and the jackets. So it's just a really good way to find out the things that are trending. If we then go into this and have a look and see what we can find. This is a graph of the click-through rate over time. And you'll see here that it changes going by what time of the year it is, which would absolutely make sense. And about May, jackets and vests start to sell. If you actually go down a bit further, there are different pieces of information you can find. And some of this is really good research to do because you can see what size ranges sell better than others. You've got things like the impressions, which is there. We've got clicks. We've got active listings, how many there are, what the sell-through rate is, the average price sold, and what the return rate is. We will sort by the highest sell-through rate down through to the lowest sell-through rate. Now, it can be actually quite surprising if you go in here because when I first started doing clothes, I didn't pick up size small because I was always led to believe that you're better off picking up the larges and extra larges and that sort of thing. If you actually have a look here, the sizing that is selling the most is actually size small. So that is a bit of a surprise, isn't it? So don't steer away necessarily from small if you're selling jackets and vests because they do sell. So you can actually see what the actual sell-through rates are and how many are listed. And that is really valuable information. Now, if we click on the item specifics, we can see the sorts of things that people are searching for when they are looking at this category. And then further over here, we can click on top listings, and that will tell you some of the really good listings that have sold. Whether it be because one particular item like this one has sold for a huge price, $3,480, wouldn't that be good to find that, which is a Chanel jacket? But more importantly is to look at perhaps the volume of things. So if we have a look here, we've got clicks versus transactions. A new Kathmandu jacket, puffer jacket, there have been 27 transactions in the last 30 days, and that is what you would be wanting. I'm actually going to just click on transactions, and if we actually have a look here, the most popular item that has sold has been a warm teddy bear fluffy coat. And there's been 51 transactions on that with an average price of $31.98. Go down here, we've got women's hooded puffer jackets, and again, puffer jackets. You have a look at those in jackets are extremely popular. So you can actually come in here and find out what the popular types of jackets are that are selling. So that was the coats, jackets and vests section. So we're just going to go down and do the same thing and have just a quick look at the jumpers and cardigans, because again, as I said, they're selling really well at the moment. So if we just have a look here, again, the graph is showing us that at March, from March onwards, April, they start going up and so on. So that's certainly something to keep an eye at that time of the year. And again, we can have a look at what the sell-through rates are. This is jumpers and cardigans. And if we have a look that if they are unisex adults, size large, they have got the highest sell-through rate. So that is something to look out for when you are doing your jumpers and cardigans. Can you actually, even though you might be listing them under women's jumpers and cardigans, are they something that you can put in under the unisex adults department? And that is something that I usually do if the jumper is something suitable for that. So don't necessarily discount some of those sizes, but do the research first to find out if in that category that particular sizing is selling. So that was just a little overview of some of the interesting information you can find in Terapeak. I do intend later on to go back into the search section of Terapeak and give you a bit more information about what you can do and what you can find in there. But today was just essentially to give you an overview of how to find out what the trending categories on eBay are at any one time. That's not to say that suddenly you should stop selling what you're selling and you should go and find those categories and then start selling those. That wasn't the point of this. But if you are looking for new opportunities of things that are selling on eBay and want to find something that is selling and selling well, then going into Terapeak and having a look is a great way to do it. So that was the idea of that little video. So I hope that was of some help for anyone that actually hasn't been into Terapeak or didn't know Terapeak existed or had seen it on the bottom of their screen and didn't know what to do with it. So that's just a quick overview. I don't want to delve into it and tell you, you should do this category, you should do that category. That's not the point of this. The point of this is to give you the information, how to get into it and how to find the information out of it that is going to be helpful for your own business. It's up to you to do the research. How about that, boys and girls? Well, Grumpy Granny has to go off now because I have a big date with the disgruntled octopus and our first hostage. And I'm quite excited to find out who it is. I've got a little bit of a short list made of the people that it could possibly be from the few little hints that I have been able to get from the disgruntled octopus. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the disgruntled octopus and I are doing a podcast every week, released at 8:08 a.m. on a Tuesday. And we would love you to have a look because it's lots of fun. You can listen to it in the background while you're doing your listing. It's all in good fun. And this week, Octo is bringing in a surprise guest for Grumpy Granny, and I don't know who it is. So there you go. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to sign off now, freshen up my lippy, ready for the disgruntled octopus and our guest. So I will catch you on the next one.